Child, it has been an expose type of weekend from Drake and Nicki being shaded at the Kendrick Lamar Awards last night by Trevor Noah, to the president threatening and planning on suing Trevor Noah, to Beyonce and Jay-Z losing millions of followers on social media, to Nicki Minaj finally going off on everybody who has been playing on her head top. It is a lot of tea, child, but let's get into it. So, in case you missed the Kendrick Lamar Awards last night, child, it was a mess. It was a mess. It was basically, this is why I'm calling them the Kendrick Lamar Awards, because him and his team actually won some awards that they did not deserve. Child, they didn't deserve. Luther did not deserve no K Dot award last night. It didn't. Neither did Doechii, but Sabrina really deserved a K Dot award last night. Billy didn't deserve that award. Bruno Mars was snubbed, and that was one of the biggest songs that he had with Rose APT. That was one of the biggest songs, but it had to go to Luther, the same Luther that had about 200 million streams removed from Spotify because those were bought as streams. And that is the song that won a K Dot award. Anyway, ciao. So Trevor Noah shaded Nicki Minaj and Drake, and Nicki decided to respond, ciao. Trevor refuses to come out the closet when everyone in the industry knows his boyfriend, allegedly. Now, that was just the opening statement. That was just like the tip of the iceberg because she also decided to whack Lizzo because Lizzo, I talked about Lizzo in my previous video. So she said, Fat Lizzo lost 300 pounds just to sell 300 albums. So now she has loose skin and a flop album and a weird charge. Sheesh. And I don't want to hear nobody say Nicki is fat shaming Lizzo, because Lizzo started this, child. You can't throw rocks and then hide your hands. So in my previous videos as well, I talked about how Lizzo actually suggested that Trump may have paid Nicki Minaj so that Nicki could come out supporting Trump. I talked about all that in my previous video. If you haven't watched it, link is in description. And I want to see Lizzo come out and trying to act like she's the victim because she has been trying to get a rise and a response out of Nicki Minaj. So the previous video that she made on TikTok defending Jay-Z, she has since deleted that video, but how we have screenshots, we have receipts. I know she finna use this Nicki Minaj response, fat shaming her, body shaming her as a rollout for her tour that nobody will probably care about, and for her albums that nobody will care about, but child, Nicki Minaj did not miss. Now, Nicki also did go deeper into some things, because in the video when Trevor was actually roasting Nicki Minaj, he was seated behind him was Chrissy Teigen, and Chrissy Teigen was also happy, she was making all these faces that Trevor was shitting Nicki Minaj, and Nicki also went in on Chrissy Teigen. Child, that is a weird ass woman. So Nicki said this about Chrissy. Everyone knows Chrissy Teigen has or had a DIK, allegedly, child. So there's all these weird tweets from Chrissy Teigen in her past. She had deleted about 30 or 60,000 tweets because she is a weird ass woman. So all those tweets, most of them, she was talking about children, 13-year-old boys. Like, what? Oh, my goodness, it is gross and it is disgusting, but I will add that video at the end of this video. Like I said, y'all, everybody was receiving their whackings. So she also went in on this guy. I don't know who he is, but she said Josh Clinton said just tanking us down. And then she said, porta potty, or whatever the F your name is. And what the hell was Chaperone wearing? That dress. My goodness, my goodness. Anyway, child, Beyonce and Jay-Z. So in 2024, she was sitting at 320 million followers, and then she lost about 5 million, bringing it to 315 million. And today, if you go and check on her page, she has about 308 million followers. So she has lost over 10 million followers following the stories and following the Epstein files actually dropping. And Jay-Z was about 1.4 or 1.6 million, and he's now down to 1 million. So, child, by the time the week ends, he'll be down to 900 or 800,000. Oh my goodness, child, things are not looking good. Nicki also doubled down on the industry politics and the industry. Child, she exposed a whole lot of evil doings that's been going on in the industry. They sabotaged my documentary because I spoke about that abuse I suffered. They've been trying to stall all my projects in hope I'd lose a bunch of money and beg them for help. Their leaders still think it's a joke. The distraction that's about to come down on them isn't funny. I told you to leave me alone. Now you understand why you should have sat there and just taken your meds. So her documentary was first supposed to come out in 2012. Then it was stalled, pushed back, and she was supposed to release another one in 2018, 2021. But then that was also pushed back behind the scenes. So they were stopping her from talking about the abuse that she faced in the hands of Meek Mill and a lot of things that she was gonna expose in her documentary. So Peter Nation put a stop to it. They said, you're not gonna release this documentary. And she also announced that her album, NM6, she won't be releasing it until her album is renegotiated with Republic, and she also said, until I tell you all about the sabotage this record is finding out about Billboard. So Billboard is expected to, undergo this record charge, and that is why YouTube decided to back out because they don't want to be associated with Billboard when those charges come. Moving on back to Trevor Noah, so his ass might be getting sued by President Donald Trump. So Donald Trump took to his X account and tweeted this. The host is almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the lower ratings Academy Awards. Noah said incorrectly about me that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong. I can't speak for Bill, but I've never been to Epstein Island, nor anywhere close. And until tonight's false and defamatory statement, have never been accused of being there, not even by the fake news media. Noah, a total loser, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast. It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty dollars. Ask little George Slopadope. George Stephanopoulos and others how that all worked out. Also ask CBS. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. Now, in case you do not know, President Donald Trump actually sued ABC News and George Stephanopoulos in 2024 because George Stephanopoulos said something wrong and defamatory on air. So in March 2024, during an interview, a This Week interview with Representative Nancy Mace, so George repeatedly stated that the juries found Donald Trump liable for RAPE in the E. John Cairo civil cases, though the verdict specified that it was SA, not R, under the New York law. So he stated that on air, and then Trump sued ABC News and Stephanopoulos in March for defamation, alleging actual malice, and also he sought major damages. So ABC ended up settling in December 2024 for $15 million. So they paid Trump's Presidential Library Foundation $15 million plus $1 million in legal fees, and also issued a public apology via an editor's note. So in total, it was $60 million. So I just checked. Trevor Noah is worth $100 million. That doesn't mean he has $100 million in his bank account. So, child, I know Donald Trump, like he said, he is gonna have fun suing his ass for millions and millions of dollars. Now, ABC is a huge corporation, so I'm sure they did actually afford it. And I don't know, child, will the Grammys back him for saying those things on air? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Ciao, now let's talk about Punch. So he tweeted the new Grammy family because Kendrick, SZA, Doechii, and the Clips, Pusha T won Grammys last night at the K-Dot Awards. So he tweeted the new Grammy family. Now, keep in mind, in case you missed it, child, so he also tweeted the amount of intentional misinformation is mind-blowing. It's a full blitz on us. That's everyone. The future is crazy. So this was after Jay-Z and Pusha T were name-dropped in the Epstein files that he decided to tweet the amount of misinformation. Now, this is why I say that he is the king of backtracking, backpedaling, because when Drake was being dissed by Kendrick Lamar and accused of being a PDF, with no evidence, child, we didn't have any solid evidence. Drake's name was never in any Epstein files for Kendrick to come out and say Drake is a PDF. But Punch was happy about that. Almost the entire world was vibing to that song. But now that we have Jay-Z and Pusha T's names, the people that he is associated with and close to, that he works with, in those files, now all of a sudden it's misinformation. The future is scary. Where was that energy when Drake was being accused of being a PDF with no evidence? And Kendrick Lamar also shouted out Pusha T last night. Child, it was a whole mess at the Kendrick Lamar Awards last night. It was boring and basically was just anti-ice, where the celebrities, after receiving their K-Dot Awards, would stand on the stage and talk about F-Ice, F-Ice. Meanwhile, they don't give a shit about ice or what's happening to the people that actually support them and buy the music. It was just a whole performative stance where they're wearing these anti-ice pins. Child, my goodness. Now, Nicki also hinted at MK Ultra in the industry, so she said maybe I should discuss the brainwashing techniques they use. And a lot of celebrities have actually been brainwashed. If you see a couple of videos years ago, and the celebrities that we have in Hollywood right now, they're totally different. Even though they have the same face, they're different. And this also reminded me of Ariana Grande, where she was on the red carpet and basically said she was brainwashed. She had been brainwashed.
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, The what? The memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little foggy.
Alright. Alright, so that is all I have for you guys in this video, but I will catch you guys in my next video where I will be talking about Russell Simmons, Sierra's husband, also being listed in the Epstein files, along with Rihanna. I will see you guys in the video.